But I think it does make sense because this is what Barack Obama did for 8 years of his presidency. He spent money the way he felt like it. And the Republicans did nothing to stop him when they finally had control of the House, right? So I think there's something to be said there. And if this is true, then the joke's on the media and the joke's on the Democrats and the joke is on those elitist Republican swine who shoved this down thinking they're getting away with something. You know what? There's a new sheriff in town. And I'm hoping, POTUS, I hope you're listening. I know you're not. But I hope you're listening that if you have any control as to how, when, and how fast this money gets spent, don't spend it. Yeah. Don't spend it. Just because you've got the authorization doesn't mean you have to go ahead and you know what? Just build our wall. I want the Maginot Line down there in Mexico. That's what I want. You know what I mean? I want a 30-foot wall down there.
Build the wall. Build the wall. Not mow the lawn. Mow the lawn. Hey, can I talk about the Linda interview real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so I told a number of people we were going to rebroadcast the interview that we did with Linda a few months ago. We'd already broadcast that once around Christmas time. And then, I don't know, a month or so later, we rebroadcast it again. And Gary and I decided we're not going to do that today, even though I told some people we're going to. It's just a little bit too soon.
Yeah.
But if you want to hear that, and I'm not promoting myself, trust me. But if you go to Spreaker and you look for Talking with Ed, you can see that. And we're going to do it again in the near future, and we're going to discuss it.
Yeah, we want to take the time to go through it and get callers' response to it,
Exactly.
and we'll stop it and go through it. And I think it's great that we could do that at some point. So let's take a call from Dr. Rob Steele. Dr. Steele, how are you doing?
Hey, I'm doing great, guys. Appreciate your passion and your info. It's awesome. But I'm not sure the Maginot Line is a good example. That didn't work out too well.
I thought about that as I said it. I'm like, oh, yeah, that's probably not the best one. But anyways, you got my point. So,
Student of history.
Exactly. Well, listen, I just wanted to say, I'm on the National Committee, and the Republican National Committee is every bit as frustrated as you have expressed regarding the leadership in this House and the Senate. Now, a lot of people don't get it, but the Republican National Committee, we are the political arm of the White House, and we've actually passed resolutions. We actually have zero power over Mitch McConnell or Paul Ryan or any elected official. We're not involved in any primaries. We're not involved in any for or against. We're for, we're involved in the general election data, turnout, and that sort of thing. And so we've actually passed a couple resolutions calling on the Republicans to live up to their campaign promises, build the wall, repeal Obamacare, repeal the regulations, reduce taxes. And the frustration is incredible because we're there to support President Trump, and it's we have a real issue with the leadership. I think we all agree.
Yeah. So, Dr. Rob, let me ask you. So, the RNC, the national RNC, how much sway do you guys have over money for the campaigns of Paul Ryan and Mitch McConnell? I know they probably have their own big fat buckets of money ready to go against anyone they want.
Fat. And of course, politicians, they're elected by the people in their own district. So, Paul Ryan's not sitting there worried a whit about what we say in D.C. or in Michigan or on your radio show. He's being elected by the people within his district.
Yep.
And that's the problem here. And of course, the RNC, which raises prodigious amounts of money and has done a fantastic job, the organization really is a data organization. And, we also run the presidential election and everything having to do with the presidential election, the platform, the convention, picking the site, writing the rules, doing all those sorts of things. And a great example of how things change when you have a Republican president, because we're there to support President Trump. Back when we didn't have a Republican president, the big battle at the RNC, just like you see in the state committee, is over the rules. Yeah. And everybody fights over the rules because they're all trying to turn the rules to the advantage of their candidate.
Right. So you guys don't have a whole lot of control over how much money you guys will give to Mitch McConnell or Paul Ryan?
No, we don't give any money to any individual campaigns at all. All we do is work on turnout, voter identification, and getting people to the polls.
Okay.
And
how much
that sort of thing.
How much does your organization hear from people that I know that have said they tell your teledialers, "Hey, you guys aren't getting a drop from me anymore"?
Well, certainly there are people that say that. Most of those people don't understand what the RNC is doing. I mean, it's a huge misconception that the RNC is, quote, part of the swamp. We're President Trump's election arm. When he goes and does a rally in Arizona, we're paying for it. The RNC is paying for it. Our job is to support the White House. And so we have every bit of frustration everyone else has. But I commenting on the money, I would say this. The Republican National Committee has raised fully twice as much as the Democrat National Committee. We have about $45 million cash on hand, and the Democrats have about $3 million on hand.
I thought they were broke.
But the key part about that money raising is that we are doubling the Democrats in small dollar donations as well, in donations of $200 or less. So the grassroots are still fully behind President Trump, and the money's being raised under his name, Newt Gingrich, Melania, Eric, and Donald Trump. And so people want Trump to succeed at the grassroots level, and we are all extremely frustrated with, for example, the NRCC or the RNSC. Great example, Alabama special election for the U.S. Senate. The Republican National Committee members in Alabama and the Republican National Committee in general asked Mitch McConnell and his $30 million PAC to stay out of Alabama. Let the people of Alabama decide. And if the people of Alabama had decided, we would have Senator Mo Brooks as the U.S. Senator Republican from Alabama. It's an incredibly frustrating situation.
Yeah. Well, with the Senate race coming up this year, Dr. Rob, I would like to. I've got a lot of questions. I'm glad you called in because I saw you the other day and didn't get a chance to talk to you. But I'd love to pick a Saturday and let us know when you can come in and you can actually spend an hour with us talking national issues and state issues. I'd love to get your concept on a lot of different things. So put a Saturday aside for us, would you?
Yeah, no, that'd be fine, because the misconceptions regarding the RNC versus the NRCC, for example, whose job is to support the candidates who are incumbents, who are the swamp.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that's important.
We're battling against the swamp because we're battling for Donald Trump, and we get painted with the wrong brush. So it's just an educational process, but we're not used to having a Republican president.
Yeah, exactly.
When we have the Democrat president, the RNC is the opposition.
Yeah. Yeah.
But right now we're not. We're right now everything for Trump. So, for example, that rules comment I made, there's no battles in the RNC over the rules anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, great.
That's gone away.
Yeah, Dr. Rob, let's get you in here and we'll do a show. So pick a day and just send us an email, Gary@thedailydrift.com, and pick a day that you can come in and hang with us. We'll drink coffee and yak it up.
That was educational.
All right. Thanks, Dr. Rob.
The Daily Current, your whole lineup, you're doing a great job.
You got it. Thank you, sir. Take care. Bye-bye.
Yeah, bye-bye.
All right, that was a nice call to hear from Dr. Rob. I haven't heard from him in a while.
Current.
Yeah, currentonline.com. Make sure
and
you go.
The Daily Drift.
And the Daily Drift, yes. Make sure you go there, get the news.
You need to know.
All right, till next week, we'll see you.